I mean, obviously, I think we're incredibly grateful that even though the pilot leaked online, people seem to be responding well to it. We worked really hard and feel proud of the work that we did. I think at the end of the day, though, it's also our job not to let it in too much and to keep writing and to let ourselves be viewers and fans. Because the more you let that in, the more those expectations start to drive your creative process, then you end up kind of losing touch with the thing that made you want to do it in the first place. So I think for us, actually, a big part of our job requirement is to sort of step away from that and just stay in the room and keep reminding ourselves why we wanted to do the show in the first place.
Yeah, I do think it's a high-class problem. As I was saying, you know, if it doesn't work, it's our fault because everyone knows about the show. But TV's a marathon; it's not a one-off. And if we can maintain a consistent level of quality, then the hype of a pilot or not will eventually dissipate, and it'll just be, is the series good?
Well, I think the good news is we all have the same references. Oddly, we didn't grow up with JJ, but we did grow up on all the same movies. I think the answer is probably different for us. For me, a big part of it was being such a huge fan of Twin Peaks when I was a kid, and just thinking it was the coolest show, and just being absolutely unable to stay ahead of it week to week. That was really exciting for me, and that there was an organizing principle around why things were so crazy, I thought was really, really exciting. So that was part of it for me, was I wanted to find a way to get that feeling back.
And for me, it's more conspiracy-based kind of things, you know, things like All the President's Men and stuff, where power is hiding things, and what happens when you work for the system that's hiding things from you, even though you're a part of it. We were both fans of The Fly and Altered States and other Cronenberg stuff. That'll depend on who you ask, you know. It's equally possible that Massive Dynamic is doing things for the good of humanity. Sometimes you have to break a few eggs to come up with certain solutions to things, and they may be willing to hurt people for a greater good, or they may be bad. We don't know yet. We're unbelievably lucky enough that we actually do have an end game, and it's an end game that I think in theory can come into play at any time.
Mm-hmm.
So there's not a expiration date on this show, although there is an end game, and it is an end game that explains so much of what's happening on the show. And so when it's something that Jeff Pinkner and the staff generated, when they pitched it to all of us, we were like, oh, that's it! Now we know where we're going. Now we can explain so much of what's happening on the show, and it can be in season 3 or it can be in season 12.